Oh, hey, Pearl.
Hi, Pearl. Hey, Michael. Hello, everyone.
Hey, oh, it's all too. Yay.
Hey guys, how are you?
Yeah.
Martin.
There's no mistaking the person with the purple hair.
I know. There's only one Amal with purple hair that lives in Boston anyway. Neely and Martin, you guys escaped me in Krakow. I wanted to say bye and hello and talk to you, but more you guys just left.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh, yeah. It was a very pleasant surprise to see you there, though. The little time we did. Oh, Abraham. Oh, Abraham and Pearl, are you two different laptops?
We're sitting next to each other.
That is too funny.
Yeah. But we are different people. We're not the same person.
Ah, that's true.
Although it's nice when I talk, it looks like Pearl's talking. Because your laptop is detecting the sound, so it'll show up.
I'll move my lips while you talk.
Good. Let's see, who else do we have? Oh, Joseph. Hey, how's it going?
It is going awesome here. How are y'all doing?
Good, good. I like your picture. Always nice to get that.
Yeah, sorry, it looks like my camera didn't want to pick up. I'm not sure why.
Well, you have an awesome profile picture, so it's okay. And let's see, who else? Who's this? Oh, Michael is with a fish. Very good. And then we have Seth. Hey, Seth.
Hello.
Hey. And oh, Steve Hodges. Hey, Steve. It's been a while.
Hey, Martin. How you guys doing?
Good. And how are you doing in Florida with all the crazy weather?
Well, we're kind of done with the crazy weather, I hope. You know, hurricane season doesn't end till like December 1st. Hopefully we've had all we're going to get.
How were you and Rhonda affected by the recent?
Well, we were out of electricity, and you know, when you're out of electricity, you can't get gasoline. You have air conditioning, so you know, it was for 4 days. So, you know, the poor people in Puerto Rico, you know, I can't say much, you know, when there's something like that going on.
Yeah. Well, good to hear that you're safe.
Yeah, no doubt. It's good to see you guys.
All right. Two. And then we have Tim in the same place as we saw you this morning. Tim, have you moved at all today? You're on mute.
No, I haven't moved. I'm right here.
Yeah. Well, it does look like a comfortable chair, so it's good.
Oh, it is. So if I fall asleep, let me know.
Yeah. Good. And we have Trish. Hey, Trish.
Hey,
Martin. Hey, Neely.
Hey, you're probably the person calling in from the shortest distance to us. Where are you calling in from today, Trish?
I'm not actually calling in from the shortest distance.
Oh, really?
Which might be the farthest.
Oh,
time.
really?
So where are you right now?
Yeah, I'm not on the North American continent at the moment.
Oh my gosh. So where was it, UK or where are you?
Yeah, in the UK, in Cambridge.
Nice. Very nice. So it's but oh my gosh, it is like it's almost time for breakfast, right?
It's midnight. It's just hitting a good hour.
All right. Okay, midnight. Good. Oh, and I see Hendrix too. Hey, Hendrix. It's been a while.
Hello.
Hey, Martin. Hey, Nile. Been a while. How are you guys?
How are things in New York?
In Orlando, Florida. I was transitioning down.
Yeah. doing in Orlando, Hendrix?
We're moving. We actually finalized our move this summer. Doing a closing in the house next week, actually.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. So it's been really busy, really hectic. Next month, we move, taking stuff from this apartment that we rent into the house.
Ah, right. But you said you're buying a place in Florida?
Yes. We're closing next week.
Nice.
Okay, congratulations.
Yeah, that must be.
Thank you.
Yeah, that must feel different. I mean, as a New Yorker, you're used to renting, right? And to now all of a sudden own a place. That's nice.
Yeah. Yep. And so I'm going back to New York on the 21st. We have our GDG Bronze Dev Fest on the 21st.
Yeah.
So
yay!
I'll be there for that.
Excellent. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. All right.
And we have 4 viewers on YouTube.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hey, everybody on YouTube.
Everybody.
Yeah. We think those of you on YouTube, if you want to dial in on, I think we're able to fit more people if you want to talk to us. If you want to stay on YouTube, that's fine. Just enter your questions and comments in the agenda doc that Mila sent out. Yay.
Oh my God.
Wow, lots of cat pictures in the agenda doc. If you're not in the agenda doc already, I recommend you go there.
Oh my God.
Excellent. Oh my gosh.
Right.
Yeah. I saw this recent article about what would happen, the economic impacts of the internet going away. And one of the main impacts would be all these people who would go around trying to force cats to do amusing things in the streets because they couldn't see cat videos online.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Let's see. What are we? 9 minutes in. Let's start. What do we have on the agenda today?
Yeah, so we have exciting things today.
Do you want to do this one or should I do this one? Or
I'll
do. Oh yeah, you should do the next one. Yeah. All right. So there was on the global GDG organizers mailing list, there was an announcement about the study jams. This is mobile site certification. So this is about how you can get your group together and sit down for half a day and study together and then take the quiz and be certified for mobile sites, mobile optimized sites. So let's see here. Right, and going through the certification together and helping each other, of course, makes it much more fun than if everybody sits and does it at home. So there's an organizer guide there. One thing to note is that there's a global registration form because it's a global campaign, everybody's doing it. But then we have put together some North America budget. So I apologize for forcing you to fill out 2 forms. But if you fill out 2 forms, we can probably sponsor you from the North American budget. So please fill that out. Also, I know one thing that I know it's in the middle of DevFest season and kind of crazy time right now. And we brought up to Jennifer Cole, who runs the GG program, that this is kind of short notice. So we are, just this morning I talked to Jennifer and she's going to explore if we can extend this campaign into Q1 as well. But for now, I guess there's a deadline right now, right?
Yes.
Which is?
The deadline is, so you will have to run the events this year by January 1st.
By January 1st. Okay, thank you. Hopefully we can get that extended so that that gives you a little more freedom to focus on DevFest or other events you've already planned for October, November, December. Anyway, please fill out the sponsorship form. We have budget. We'd love to sponsor you. Any questions about the mobile site certification study jam? No. Also, a heads up, I'm working with a cloud team to hopefully we'll get a cloud study jam in there as well, which would be that you can sit down in a group and run some cloud code labs together. And it'd be really cool because we can run those on the quick labs. Hopefully, if you get everybody in the cloud team to agree, we can run them on the quick labs platform, which means that you won't have to enter credit card number, you won't have to use up your sign-up credit, and you won't have to set up a complicated development environment on your machine. Everything will be done. Cloud study jams, woohoo! Yes, Michael. Okay, we'll move on in the agenda if there are no questions. If you still have questions and I cut you off, just enter them in the agenda doc at the bottom.
Right.
Women Tech Maker Lead Summit in North America.
Women Tech Maker Lead Summit, yeah. So this is about a summit for the Women Tech Maker Leads in North America in October. So we are organizing a day summit for the Women Tech Maker Leads in North America. So we know there are always questions, okay, what are the expectations from Women Tech Maker Leads, or how we can support Women Tech Maker Leads and also GDG organizers to create diversity in the community. Hopefully in this summit, we will try to answer all those questions, and we will try to find the answers together, how we can support the Women Tech Maker Leads and other GDG organizers, and how, what are the expectations, what should be the expectations from Women Tech Maker Leads. And also for this summit, we invited women GDEs, Google Developer Experts, because we know most of the time Women Tech Maker Leads are seeking women speakers to invite their events, but they don't find. So it would be also a good chance for them to those GDGs, so they can invite to the future events. So this summit will be on the West Coast this time.
East Coast.
Oh, East Coast, yes, not West Coast. Different than the GDG summit. And for on the Women Tech Maker Leads. But after the summit, we are going to share all the notes and discussions we had with all of you.
Yeah. And did we invite women GDG organizers as well?
Yes, we also invited women GDG organizers as well, because not all of the women GDGs are official Women Tech Maker Leads. Again, we have to be aligned with everyone. So what is a Women Tech Maker Lead? How can you become a Women Tech Maker Lead? And to answer all those questions.
Yeah.
All right.
This will be great to just sync up. I know that in the past it's been, like you were saying, it's been sort of unclear what Women Tech Maker Leads do, GDG leads do, and now we can just straighten all that out and put together some great plans together for how to increase diversity.
Yay! Perfect.
By the way, I looked at the numbers a few days ago, and according to meetup.com, the number of women members of GDGs in North America is 21.8%, which is pretty darn good. Yeah, we in everything we do here, we aim for 25%, but so we're pretty close to 25%. Yeah. And speaking of which, one way of getting more diversity at DevFests is the next agenda item.
Yes,
do you want to take that?
Yeah, sure. And also, Women Tech Makers team provided some budget for the women speakers travel for DevFest. If you want to invite any women speakers to your DevFest, we still have budget. I put the form in the agenda. Please submit all the details. Submit the form with all the details, and we will be happy to help to get the speaker in your event.
Yeah. Yep, there is plenty of budget left, so please please fill out that form and go and speak at DevFests. I attended a talk recently, but it was about gender studies and things like that, and they said that whenever there is a minority that is sort of less than 20% of the total people, it means that minority is sort of, it feels a bit weird to be in that minority, and it it's sort of, oh yeah, we have the normal members, and then we have that strange group over there. But once you break through that 20 to 30%, like maybe 20 to 30% of different racial groups, or 20 to 30% women, so you get genders mixed, then all of a sudden diversity blossoms, and it doesn't feel weird to be in that small group, because now it's a normal thing all of a sudden. So it's a sort of magic threshold there, 20 to 30%, and we like to break through. Any questions about any WTM things, Women Tech Maker things? No?
Martin and Nila, one quick question about WTM. For if a WTM group creates its own meetup group, how is that funded, or is that paid for by GDG? Is it paid for by WTM? Is it paid for by the WTM organizers? Because I know GDG groups get a code.
You cut out. Are you asking about creating a separate Women Tech Makers chapter on Meetup?
Yes. Is that covered by a Meetup code?
Yes. So right now, Women Tech Makers leads can create separate chapters from GDGs. But the rule is they have to be connected with the GDG in the city. So if there is not a GDG in there, there can't be a Women Tech Maker Leads chapter, because all Women Tech Maker Leads are also GDG organizers. So as we support the GDGs on Meetup, we also cover the fee for the Meetup page for Women Tech Makers chapter as well. So it's like the same as the GDG. So we are paying for it.
Thank you.
I'd just like to add that we already have a Women Tech Makers group on Meetup that Nadia paid for our WTM. So Mike, I have our WTM that was the head slipped out. I am now currently the leader. So I reached out to Carol several times to no avail. I'm not sure, you know what, she was part of the hurricane too. So I don't know what her situation is, but if she's the lead, she needs to get in touch with me so that I can pass the torch to her.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, thank you for picking that up, Steve. So it didn't go, so it didn't fall by the wayside. And yeah, you're doing the right thing. And then turn it back to whoever wants to run with it. Actually, let me ask you, Nilay. Michael and Steve brought up separate chapters for Women Tech Maker Leads. So, so in those situations, there's a GDG chapter in the city, and in the same city, there's a Women Tech Maker chapter. Is that the way it should be in all cities, or should it be one group that's GDG that has a Women Tech Maker Lead, or do we have a preferred way of doing that?
So actually, in the past, we have preferred to have Women Tech Maker Leads as a GDG organizers in the GDG chapter, and to have one group on Meetup. But we realized that for some cities and for some chapters, having a separate Meetup group helps to get more women and to have the diversity for GDG. So the ultimate goal is to normalize, I mean, having like more than 25% women in the within the GDG Meetup. We don't want to exclude women, or I mean, we don't want to create a group of women. But if it helps the GDG community, they can create a separate chapter. But again, I mean, Women Tech Makers chapter has to be connected with the GDG, and they have to work together. But if they need to organize separate meetups, or if they need to create a separate chapter, right now we support this.
Oh, I see. So each community can choose, each GG can choose if they want a separate chapter or have it baked into one.
Yes, so it's whatever works, helps with your community. You can prefer having one group together with Women Tech Makers, or having separate groups.
I see. Good. Thank you for the clarification. Any other questions around Women Tech Makers? All right. If you have more questions and I just cut you off, enter them at the bottom of the doc. DevFests. Yeah, so the DevFests are starting, and we wish you all success with the DevFests. I know that it's a lot of work, and we really appreciate what you do, but it's a lot of fun. Yeah, you know this because you used to run DevFests.
Yeah, oh my God, it was very fun.
Busy, yeah.
Busy and fun.
And you were organizing, what was it you said? You were organizing the largest DevFest in Istanbul's history at the same time as you organized your wedding. Is that
oh
right?
my gosh, yeah, it was, yeah. So our wedding was in September and DevFest was in December. I think I worked for DevFest more than my wedding because it was a huge challenge for me and for other GDGs in Istanbul, and we did a huge DevFest for 2,500 people in Istanbul.
Yeah, so you had your priorities
yes.
In a certain way, yes. Are there any questions or comments around the DevFests? Is anything with funding unclear, or requesting speakers, or getting travel budget for women speakers? Anything else? Any other questions? Nope. No. I see Pearl shaking her head, so we can move on. Yep. What's next?
Let's see the questions.
Oh, more cats.
My God, more cats. Oh my gosh,
ooh,
yes.
So many questions. Yay. What's the Hangout link? Okay, we have that.
All right, so.
Martin, DevFest. We have a sponsorship from the cloud team. Do we need a sort of a cloud, a Googler cloud team member to speak at the event, or should we just to cover cloud collabs, and we have one speaker that's going to talk about. Do we need to bring any other type of speaker to kind of conform with the requirements, or? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good question. You dropped out a little bit, but what I thought I heard was you have a cloud code lab on the agenda, you have a cloud speaker, but do you need and you've been granted additional sponsorship from the cloud team. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, and thank you for running cloud content. If you've been granted a sponsorship, then that means that the cloud team is happy, and you don't need to do more things than what's already on your agenda.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for doing cloud things. Oh, and I'm wearing the cloud shirt today. I was actually in the at the Cloud Summit in Chicago yesterday. Got home at midnight last night, got out of bed this morning. I was like, oh my gosh, nothing is clean. I'll wear my booth uniform today in the office. This really needs to go in the wash tonight.
We like it, Martin. It looks good.
Ah, okay, good.
If there are more questions.
Yeah. Is there any official assistance for GDGs using Google Cloud Services during presentations? No, there isn't. There is a $300 sign-up credit. When you sign up, you get that credit on the cloud, but we don't have any additional.
Yeah, just to clarify, this is Joseph Banta. I asked that question, yeah, I just put on a presentation for Android things and wrote something based on one of the tutorials and made it hook up to Firebase, and it wrote just a ton of data in seconds to Firebase, and you know, everybody was pretty impressed. So you guys got some good press for Firebase, but you know, it's probably going to cost me a couple of bucks. So you know, just wondering. That's all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If there are, so we don't have any official any way of. Or we talked to the team about credits, but they have a credit program for startups. if there is something clearly going wrong and there was a runaway product, Google product, and ended up writing a lot of data and it ended up costing.
It was all by design.
Oh, okay.
It was fine. It was just it got me wondering about because we're kind of almost shilling for you guys. So just wondering.
Okay, got it. Yeah, thanks for doing that demo. Sounds like a cool demo. Yeah, do you want to take the next one?
Yes, Community Leaders Dinner, New York City. Okay, so right now we have another program for the non-GDG meetup groups, which is called Together with Google Developers. And in this program, we are able to work with and support other communities. And we are organizing community leaders dinners in some cities. New York City is one of them. So we ask the GDG organizers in New York City if they know any of the communities would be interested in joining this dinner. Please introduce us. You can either add the email address to the spreadsheet, or you can send the introduction email. Both would be fine.
Let's see. Should I?
Yes.
Have the emails from the city selected for? Have the emails from the city? Okay, so have there been confirmations about the Mozilla Roadshow? Remember, some weeks ago there was a form where you could fill in that you were interested in hosting a Mozilla Developer Roadshow. Where? Oh yeah, where are we with that?
So we checked the list with Mozilla, Sandra from Mozilla, yeah. And then they picked some cities that they can send speakers. So confirmation emails has been sent to those cities, GDG organizers. But the thing is, so they want to send speakers, but they don't know if they have available speakers right now. So in that email, we said that once they are sure that they find speakers for those, they will contact you. And for the other cities, unfortunately, they are not able to send speakers. I also contacted with those GDG organizers saying that we won't be able to make it this year.
Oh, okay.
So right now, for those cities who are picked, Mozilla will contact them when she has speakers for those cities.
So, do you have a list of cities? Michael said Boston was selected, but we have no confirmation yet.
Okay, whoever registered the city, I think they get the confirmation email. I can check after this. Right now, I can't change the tab, but after I will check the Boston and get back to you about it. Okay?
You'll check. Okay.
I will check after this.
Thank you, Nilay. What is the status of applications for Google Assistant funding? We're interested in hosting 2 events, one at DevFest and one separate hackathon. Amazing! Yay! We love this. I don't know this
Google
one.
Assistant,
do you know?
which funding was that?
Yeah,
I think I will need to check. Yeah.
So while Nila is checking this, I'll just say that in previous years, we have had to go around and talk to the different product teams here at Google and say, hey, there's this thing called the DevFest. And the product teams would say, what's a DevFest? And we'd say, well, they're run by GDGs. And they would say, what's a GDG? And we had to explain to them and we had to sell them on this. But in the last few years, because GDGs, you've run such successful events, the product areas now are coming to us and saying, hey, please let us be part of the DevFest this year. We have money for you. And so it's been a striking change in the last few years, thanks to your hard work and successful events.
Yeah, thank you. So the Google Assistant funding, so I think some GDG organizers received emails about confirmation emails for the budget. It says actions on Google support or something like that. I think most of the GDGs in North America receive those emails. But yeah, if you are selected, you already received an email about the approval.
Was this the emails from Kata? Oh yeah, we saw a bunch of emails, and I created the purchase order and things like that. So if you haven't, and we saw the emails go out, if you haven't heard, and feel free to email me and Nilay, and we'll find out what the situation is for your chapter. By the way, also on that, I was able to go into the spreadsheet and see who in the world had applied, and we in North America, thank you for applying a lot and running a lot of great assistant events, or planning a lot of assistant events. Thanks to your being so active, North America swiped half of the team's global budget. Well done.
Yeah, I saw that email. Kata was saying, "Oh, North America got most of the budget. Don't you have other events?"
Yeah, because North America does the most and is the most active and has the best events, the best organizers. Yeah.
Okay, thank you again.
Yeah.
All right. So the next question, Firebase Summit. They. We haven't heard anything from Firebase team about this. I think we don't have any additional funding for these Firebase Summit events.
Yeah, there was, as a DevFest organizer, you could apply for Firebase funding, right?
Yeah, it was Firebase App Fest. It is.
Oh, okay.
It was within DevFest. I think there is an upcoming Firebase Summit in Amsterdam in October, I guess. I think this question about that event and the GDG events around that summit, right? If it is about the Firebase Summit in Amsterdam, we don't have any campaign or any additional funding for those events. But if you want to run the code labs or viewing parties or Firebase events around that summit, yeah, please do feel free to do it.
Is all the swag really gone? What swag is this? Google Developer Swag Distribution. Oh, this is the one, right? Yes, I'm afraid it is.
Sorry.
But so yeah, it was open for about a week, and I sent the shipping addresses to our vendor, and the items should be on their way. And we should probably do some, we talked about ordering stickers, right? We should probably do something like that. Would that be helpful to send out stickers? Yes, please. Michael Traverso says. Okay, yeah, we should do stickers next quarter.
Yeah, I see one thumbs up.
Yay!
Yes, then okay.
Yeah.
I think another form is coming.
Or we just send.
Spoiler.
Yes. Or, oh yeah, I guess we need another form. Yeah, sorry for all the forms, but we are not allowed to store your personal identifiable in just one form. We're not allowed to store your PII. So we have to ask you every time, and then every time, once we're done with sending stuff, we diligently go in and delete all your addresses and things. Yeah. All right. Okay. Ooh, this is a good question.
This one, right? Okay. I'm very confused about this. Ayesha should have selected as a lead for Boston. Okay, so first of all, so Women Tech Maker leads are the, people leaders who are working with diversity and getting more women speakers and attendees for GDG. So we call them Women Tech Maker leads, but they are GDG organizers. But to become an official Women Tech Maker leads, there's a separate application form and separate onboarding process, because Women Tech Maker leads, they are added to different communication channels and they are receiving other emails about Women Tech Makers and these support and resources. So it's a different onboarding process. Where is the official list of Women Tech Maker lists in North America? So there is a directory, womentechmakers.com/directory. I see it on the agenda right now. I know that list is not up to date, But after the Women Tech Maker Lead Summit, so this is one of the reasons we are getting together all the Women Tech Maker Leads in North America. We will know who are the Women Tech Maker Leads in North America, and we will update this list directory. So this will be our official list for the all Women Tech Maker Leads in North America. And there can be more than one Women Tech Maker Leads for every chapter. So there can be more than one people you can apply for it. Does that answer your question, Amal? Or anyone else?
Let's see, we lost Amal here. She's probably one of the viewers on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. All right.
All right. Let's see.
Yes.
I have
okay.
Oh yes.
Right.
I'm curious. I'll ask a question just
Sure.
to mix it up a bit. I'll ask the audience a question. Seth, your shirt says FSU. What does that stand for?
Florida State University.
Oh.
I see.
It's a lacrosse shirt.
Oh, lacrosse.
Yay.
Ooh. I don't think I've ever seen that sport played. It is, yeah, I've heard it's different.
Yeah, you should check it out.
Yeah. All right, cool. I was in Chicago yesterday for the, as you heard, for the Cloud Summit, and when I talked to people I was in the community booth, and when I talked to people, I asked them, you know, if they were students, I asked where they studied, and they said, and a remarkable proportion of them said USC. And I was like, really? University of Southern California? And you live in Chicago?
Oh my God.
But that was, I guess, University
of Chicago.
University, the State University in Chicago or something, USC.
Chicago State.
Yeah, something
Maybe.
like that, yeah.
Okay.
All right. What's the Firebase question?
Mm-hmm. Regarding Firebase hackathon during the FS, so the FS, I think again Firebase team handling these FS applications. I think they got back to some of the applicants if they are elected. If you heard from Firebase team about it, so you are elected. If not, unfortunately, you are not elected for those. I know there are so many applications and there were so many great events, but unfortunately they were able to support some limited events this year.
That's unfortunate they didn't get back to the ones who applied but did not get funding. I mean, you if you're unsure, you can always email us, right?
Mm-hmm,
and we can go to the Firebase team and ask. I apologize. They should get back to the people who didn't receive funding.
Yeah.
Oh, USC, University of South Carolina too. Oh my gosh, there are UCs everywhere. Okay, yeah, feel free to email us.
Email us. I can check with Firebase team about your situation.
Yeah.
And thanks for the feedback.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to tell product teams. If they handle the communication, they need to tell everybody.
Okay. Great. Another question?
Yeah, regarding meetup feedback. If we created our own meetup, our own feedback form, are we still required to use the GG official one? The official GDG one has been closed. Again, it's whatchamacallit, data privacy issues. We're not allowed to hold on to personally identifiable data. So, so please create your own. And Dan Baran of GG Chicago has a great one that you're free to use, copy and modify. And he posted on that a couple of weeks ago on the Google Plus community. So go and find his there, or build your own from scratch. We're not doing it centrally anymore.
Yeah, I actually, this is Hendrix. I actually created my own based on that dance version, which is really cool. That's why from time to time you'll see people that go there for whatever reason, they provide feedback. So I just click on it and there's new feedback from recently. So just so you'll be aware.
Okay, I I closed the old official one.
Like if you click this link, it will take you to.
I think this is responses.
Oh yeah, this is responses, and if you click tool form and go to live form, let's see if it's so I closed the live form, so the spreadsheet is still there, and it should probably remove that data, but the form is closed.
Next question.
Yeah.
Again, what was your favorite moment of last week?
Oh. It was probably, I spoke at GDG Chicago on Tuesday night, and that was hosted at GoGo in Chicago. That's the headquarters of the office that provides internet on flights. And that was pretty cool. They had a huge Faraday's cage room where they go in and sit and test their app, because whenever they test their app, they want to make sure that they don't accidentally go on some Wi-Fi out there or accidentally use some cell connection or something. So they must be in a totally dead, radio dead space. Yeah, so there was a payments engineer sitting there testing the payments solution, making sure that they didn't. Everybody's scared now after the Equifax data breach. They were checking that they were still compliant with all the things about not leaking private information. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and I got a coupon for free internet Wi-Fi on my next flight.
Oh my God, that's great.
Which I don't know if I should really thank them or not. I won't be able to watch a movie and relax. I'll have to work.
And here I want to tell my favorite moment from last week, because it's about Google. So last week I was flying to Toronto, and it was a 6-hour flight, and I realized there is a Wi-Fi in the flight, and it was Google, and it was the best moment for me because there was no meeting, no one could request meetings from me, and I could literally just sit and work for 6 hours, no distraction at all. So I think it was my favorite moment about GoGo again.
GoGo.
Yeah.
Great company. Yeah.
Okay, any word on the Android dev kits? Okay, so I think we don't have any other update about this so far. So we know they are trying to ship and they have some problems, but I haven't heard anything from them after that.
Kata sent an email, was it last week? That it was not just to us, it was to organizers.
Also organizers who submitted the form, they also received email about the delay. Yeah, I think there are some, like, I don't know what the problem really is, but they are working on it. We know they are working on it.
Yeah, so no update, unfortunately. Oh, shipping stuff.
Oh my gosh, shipping.
Yeah, shipping atoms is terrible. Shipping electrons over the internet is much better. Yeah, that reminds me of when a project I worked on a long time ago, my first job. We were building an intranet solution, and for this company, and one of their offices was in Vietnam, and we were going to ship a CD with data to them with some code that they could run on their servers in the company office in Vietnam. And authorities in Vietnam stopped the CD from going through. They said, nope, no allowed digital, unauthorized digital information can enter the country. So what we did was we just put our copy of the CD in the server in Europe and just shared the drive with the office in Vietnam, and they just clicked on it and downloaded it without Vietnamese authorities being any wiser. A lot easier to ship electrons than atoms. Somebody's typing, well, that 3D stuff, well, that is being printed.
Oh, that's cool. Android Oreo status. Oh. If you want to 3D print some Android Oreo status, they shared the link, the design, I guess, on the agenda.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing it.
That's cool. Yeah. And hoverboard.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of new technology in hoverboard. If you want to host your DevFest site on that, I know a lot of DevFests last year did it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really cool app and looks really, really professional. Good for hosting an event website. Please check that out. Oh, if anybody wants a Flutter app for the DevFest, reach out to Mike. Oh, that is amazing.
Oh.
Yeah, the Google Flutter team was quite impressed by Mike's app. I sent it on to them and they loved it. So yeah, good job, Mike, and thanks for sharing. All right, any other questions, comments? All right, I think we're done for today. Thank you so much for calling in. This is the favorite part of my week, to see you all. It was good stuff, and I hope to see many of you soon. And thank you.
Hey, I'd just like to say something about our pals in Puerto Rico, our GDG in Puerto Rico. Everybody be thinking about them.
Yeah, you're right. Have you heard anything? I haven't heard anything from them.
I don't know. Tim would probably be closer to knowing anything, but I saw the video and everything. It's just absolutely horrendous. But anyways, my thoughts are with them.
Indeed. Yeah. Tim, have you heard anything?
Very little in Slack. Juan is he's able to get some communications in and out, but everybody's fighting for cell service. You know, so it's pretty bad. He's told me some pretty bad stories that it's just, I just can't imagine this happening this day and age. They don't have places to bury people.
Oh my gosh.
The hospitals are failing, and it's causing issues with patients. It's just a lot of horrendous things going on. So hopefully after today, what we heard the president finally approved, stuff will go down there. So we'll see.
One thing Juan mentioned in his Slack message was to, call your congressional representatives and tell them that you want to have them help Puerto Rico. So if anybody's interested in doing something that, it doesn't seem like it helps, but it does.
Right. I've heard that too, that they get tons of emails and letters, and so they tend to ignore those, but the people who actually take the time to sit down and make a phone call, they keep track of those, and that makes a big difference. They care about those. Yeah. That's really good to know. Thank you, Michael. Thanks for the update, Tim. All right. Well, thank you for calling in, everybody. It was great to see you, and see you on the next Hangout or in real life.
Yep.
All right, thanks. Bye-bye.